And we are back. We are back. Guys, this has been an exciting day. We shared the day with unique couples, and they have outdone themselves. We are here for a second year, their second annual marriage marathon, right here, Freeport, Grand Bahama, and virtually hitting all around the world. It indeed has been a marathon today. And as we know, if you're here and engaging with us in chat, we want to drop those hashtags. Marriage is a marathon. Marriage is not a sprint. Extraordinary marriage. Drop those in chat and let us know that you are here and you were with us all along the way. Hey, if this is your first time joining us in this, our last session of the day, it's okay. All of the sessions are available for replay. You can go back and catch up on what you would have missed today. But today has been the day. We started out with awesome, powerful sessions. And as we end out on our panel discussion, it is going to be no different. We are hitting the topic today, extraordinary marriage in troubled times. And as we know, we can relate to that. We can relate to that. All right? Marriage in extraordinary marriage in troubled times. And we're going to have a delight here to today. We have our panelist who's going to join us in a bit. And we want to thank all of those persons who would have performed in the sessions earlier. It indeed has been a really, really exciting day. We just came out of a session, marriage, talking about intimacy, talking about sex with Mr. and Mrs. Vito Patrick. They just finished their session and it was hot. It was hot in here. Flames, nuggets dropping throughout today. We looked at communication. We looked at finances. Listen, they have this all set up for us today, not to fail at this thing called marriage. And that is what they are dedicating and committing their lives to. Building healthier marriages that will impact the world, one couple at a time. So I am your host, Lynn Collie, and I'm here with you from Freeport, Grand Bahama. And we're going to welcome on Mr. and Mrs. Vito Patrick, Mr. and Mrs. Unique Couples, as I like to call them. And just before we get into it, all day, guys, they have been giving away. I don't understand how this goes. First of all, the marriage marathon is free. You're here getting these nuggets. They're dropping these nuggets. Persons from all over the world, Canada, different places in the world. And this is free. And amongst it being free, they still giving away free things. Listen. I don't know how they do it, but this person who is going to win in this session is going to be able to get tickets for the Race to Love treasure hunt. Now, I don't know about y'all, but there are some persons who are in chat who have been a part of Unique Couples and their treasure. And we know that they go all the way out to make sure that you as a couple can enjoy just doing these treasure hunts together, getting to know each other a little more. And guess what? It's even unique to you as a couple. And these are things that you're going to treasure for the rest of your marriage life. This person is going to win tickets for their upcoming Race to Love treasure hunt. This is an ongoing thing. I think Unique Couples, yes, the community has going on, and it's dedicated to couples. And I know that you're going to enjoy this. We as a couple, we enjoyed this. And all you have to do, so simple. Persons who've been winning, they've been winning all day, and those winners are going to be announced tomorrow. List 3 ways to overcome troubled time in marriage. And that's going to be announced right in today's comments. Once you list those ways to overcome troubled times in marriage, you are eligible to win the tickets for the Race to Love treasure hunt. Mr. and Mrs. Unique Couples, I've been enjoying this day. Listen to me. I told you before, the Olympics has nothing on this marathon. Guess what? You know, when you're taking that last lap and they have rung the bell, we are here. And even though we are out of breath, guess what? We see the finish line and we are running this marathon that we are it's just experiencing an extraordinary time. You couldn't have come up with no better name to theme this day today. And we are so glad that we have this opportunity to be here on this platform sharing with you. So over to you guys.
Good afternoon again, everybody. We are Vito and Linda Patrick, and we just want to welcome you to our last session here on our second annual Unique Couples Marriage Marathon under the theme Extraordinary Marriage. And we want to thank the presenters who would have came before us for a phenomenal job that they did. And we were just all loving it, soaking up all of that information. Yep. So all of us can take our marriage to the next level. And I know that the panel that we're going to be having right now, they're going to be no exception. And they're also going to do a great job as well. So we're just looking forward to it. So you want to make sure you go ahead and share. You want to tag. If you haven't subscribed to our Unique Couples YouTube channel as yet, you want to make sure you subscribe to the Unique Couples YouTube channel. If you haven't joined the Marriage Club as yet, you want to make sure you join the Marriage Club, and you want to check out the link in the description. The link is in the description.
Yes, and we want to thank our sponsors. Yes, thank you so much. They made it possible, Gia, and we are so grateful to Style Me Pretty by Shadra. You can contact her to get your hair done, ladies, and your kids, your daughter's hairs as well. Hair to Please. You can contact Doris there at 351-1962 and get doiled up and get your weave too, right? Yeah. Yes. And then the Nail Lab Creations by Anna. Go ahead and hit her up, 439-0523. Let them know that Unique Couples sent you. That's going to be a special, unique experience and treat. We are so excited that they believe in what we are doing here as we work on building stronger couples, healthier marriages, and happier families, because it's all connected. It's all connected. So we want to thank our sponsors, Style Me Pretty by Shadra. Call her at 533-3546. Nail Tech, the Nail Lab Creations by Anna, 439-0523. And Here to Please, you can contact Doris at 351-1962. Go ahead and book your appointments and let them know we sent you. This is the Unique Couples Marriage Marathon, and I'm all excited. We have guests. Yes, Gia, we're going to bring them in. We have our guests, and we're going to have this discussion about extraordinary marriage in troubled times. Yes, extraordinary marriage in troubled time. So we're all excited about our guests that we have.
Good evening,
yes,
everyone.
Yes.
Good evening. Hello,
we're so used to the evening.
Yeah.
Good day, good morning, whenever you're watching this. For those of you watching the replay, hashtag replay. Those of you who are watching the live, go ahead and put hashtag live squad in chat, right?
Yeah.
Live squad. Go ahead. Yes. So we're going to turn it over to Gia. She is the hostess and what you call that now? for this session. She's leading out in this session. So so we're gonna sit back and be guests.
Yes. Once again, it has been a day out of this world, spending time and investing and really being intentional. The fact that you are here, the fact that you're showing up means that you are intentional about loving and intentional about your marriage. And that is all that is important, putting in the work. So the fact that you are here in our viewing audience, you are putting in the work and you are committing to making your marriage extraordinary. And that is what counts. So today I am excited about our panelists that we have here today. And as we heard before, extraordinary marriage in troubled times. So fitted and so needed as a topic, because we are indeed in troubled times. But our marriages can still be extraordinary. So that is key to know. So we're going to let our viewing audience know a little bit about ourselves. So we're going to start off with Pastor Peter, then we're going to go to the Smiths, and then we will end with the Patricks. So just let us know a little bit about yourself and what you have going on.
Oh, wow. I thought you were going to bring me on with all of that information that you know about me, Gia. But I'm Pastor Peter Watson.
You trust me? You trust me that much, well, Pastor?
Thank you, Gia. Thank you so much. I ought to be careful. I ought to be careful what I ask for, right? I'm Pastor Peter Watson. I serve as a pastor in the North Bahamas Conference of Seventh-day Adventists. I presently serve on the island of Abaco. Been here for about 3 years. And I am married to the lovely Arlene, former Hall Glinton. And she, we are experiencing, we are one of those marriages that we're living in difficult times and are able to get through it. And so we don't have any children, but we continue to nurture children in our marriage, and God has been good to us. I enjoy doing a whole lot of stuff, from swimming to boating to fishing, reading the word of the Lord. I enjoy sex as well. And I don't play around with the foreplay. Forgive me. That's the after dark. Sorry. We on. No, sorry. Forgive me. Forgive me, folks. Forgive me. Did you mute me when I said that, Gia? Sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead, Mr. Smith.
I heard that loud and clear. Okay, go ahead, Smith. Good to have you, Pastor.
Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Deborah Smith. And
my name is Dan Smith.
We've been married for 22 years. We have a blended family. I have a platform, Build Your Best Life. Well, I work with young men, helping them overcome obstacles. And we enjoy our 6 grandchildren. And there are many things that are going on during these times that are extraordinary. However, we're not having any of those issues in these troubled times, because we'll talk about that later, but we're doing well.
I'm glad to be on this panel. Vito and Lynn are a great couple. I love them dearly, and it's a blessing to be on this panel. I'm retired. I was in law enforcement for 40 years. I'm retired supervisor, special agent. And I guess I say, when I retired, I didn't think I was going to pick up something else, but I had picked up 2 different opportunities, 2 different companies. One is a handyman service and the other is a lawn service. So I enjoy doing different work. And my 3rd job that I picked up was working with Deborah and her platform. I love doing that, and she's great. And like these troubled times, but through it all, God sees us through it, and that faith is, oh man, goodness. I'm so thankful that I have faith. I am the chairman of our deacon board under the Pastor Bishop John Eric Guns, and I just just love. And like Pastor Watson, I got to get with you. I love fishing.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So, you know, if I'm in your area, I'll definitely check you out.
Please do. We can drop a line. Definitely.
There you go.
Where do we go from here?
All right. We are Vito and Linda Patrick, and I think everybody knows we are the founders of Unique Couples.
Yes.
We are here in Freeport, Grand Bahama. Linda and I, we've been married for sweet 16 plus 2 years. And we have 3 kids, Victoria, Vito II, and Victory K. And we love what we're doing with the Unique Couples platform, where we are building stronger couples, healthier marriages, and happier families. We all know that the divorce rate is very high. The divorce rate is like 60%. And we believe that marriages are in trouble, and we want to help marriages.
Definitely.
If you were listening earlier, you would have heard hashtag UC1More. And for those that have been following us, Unique Couples, we want to be able to save one more marriage. We want to be able to save one more marriage. And we want to be able to help marriages here in the Bahamas, in the United States, in the Caribbean, and around the world.
Definitely, definitely. So we're all excited to be here as a part of this panel. And yeah, so back to you, Gio.
Yes. And as you keep on reminding me, you are the guest today, right? Yes. It is awesome to have you. You know, you guys have really become the experts in strengthening and building healthier marriages, and we appreciate that. And thank you all for being on the panel today. And we're going to dive right into our first question. So you feel free to chime in when you want to answer the question. But when we look around, even in the Bahamas, the Caribbean, the United States, and much of the world, as we can see, we have troubled marriages. If we just want to be real, you hear persons talk about the struggles. So talk to us about some of the troubles marriages, or the things that you are aware of, some of the troubles that marriages are facing today. And we could go in that same order that we went, if you want to go in order. Yes.
I'll just jump right in. Well, we know that in a marriage, families want to be able to, husband and wife want to be able to feed their families. They've set goals. They want to reach those goals. They want to get a home and the rest of it. And over the past several years, we have been having some real challenges, economic challenges. As you have, you've said it many times on your program, finance is one of those big ticket issues that break up relationships. And so we are living in a troubled time, especially with the pandemic, even recently, whereas families can't work and they can't get to where they need to be financially stable. And so it will definitely bring strain and stress to the family. With COVID-19, you know, my wife and I, we've been married for 28 years, and you know, but I've been off vacation. It would bring strain on the family. It would bring trouble, yes. And even now,
yes,
because of the dynamic of pastoring, the ideal would have your wife right next to you every day. But because of the situation that we face, we're not able to do so right now. So we have to travel back and forth, commute back and forth. But we look for the better things, you know. It gets absence make the heart grow fonder. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But all of these bring about trouble for marriages, even in these days.
Hi.
yeah,
I agree with those things that you said, Pastor Watson. In addition to that, you know, there are a lot of blended families such as ours. And we can see that a lot of times, because we don't have conversations prior to getting married and communication is not what it needs to be, you can have a divide, you know. And as we were talking about this, we thought about an example of when our middle son, we have 3 sons and 1 daughter. So the middle son, when he was in high school and he needed to get to different places during the day, he didn't have transportation. And I've always had maybe 2 vehicles because I always want a larger one, maybe try to go somewhere as a family, and then of course a regular size vehicle. And so I said to my husband, we could just let him have the Honda, you know, no problem. And so that's what we did. But, you know, in a lot of families, it would have been a conversation if the husband had said, oh, son, you could just get the Honda. It sits in the yard most of the time. It would have been a conflict, you know, because then maybe the wife would say, well, how dare you tell them they can have my car? It's my car. You didn't ask me first or whatever. So having those blended families, if you're not on the same page, it can cause conflict, especially with all of the stress, as Pastor Watson mentioned earlier, with COVID, you know, that's added stress, and then finances are always a stress, and it's caused a lot of stress during this past year. So that's another thing that can cause a lot of stress in these extraordinary times.
I just like to piggyback a little bit on the COVID. With the COVID, you being, I guess, separated, a lot of people are maintaining their distance. They're at home and they're not socializing. That has become a big problem. I've seen a lot of news and in the news media, a lot of causing divorces, it's causing suicide, and it's just tough on a marriage. So this is where I always tell Deborah, hey, this is where we got to be prayed up, keep in contact with the Lord, speak to him, talk to him, and to get us through this. Because you can't get through it by yourself. You got to have that faith. If you don't have the faith, you're going to get lost.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and to add to it, you also have job losses and sickness. And this is another 2 things that are affecting marriages, that are causing troubled times in marriages. So as mentioned, the pandemic, all over the world, a lot of jobs have been lost because of this pandemic. And we know this is a reason why marriages are troubled. And then sickness. We know the marriage vow says in sickness and in health. But sometimes sickness can cause marriages to have troubled times. So job loss and sickness.
Yeah. Just to add, I think Peter mentioned it earlier. When we look at, you know, couples who maybe probably not having kids of their own, and some of them have opted to, you know, adopt, and some have not. That could be a sore point for some couple, and that might be a troubled time for them in their relationship. And for others, you know, they find a way to do, you know, make do with what they have, you know, just find a way to, you know, mentor young people, and, you know, be there and be that father figure, or all of that. So I could say that we have definitely seen Pastor Peter Watson making sure that happened, and it's like, you know, nothing lacking, nothing is missing because of that. And we just want to say salute to you for that. And we can definitely look at, you know, to let some of our couples know exactly, you know, what you do. I know it's by God's grace, but exactly what you do to make sure that, hey, that is happening. We'll continue to pray for you all. So that is it. Like you said, Ms. Deborah was mentioned, blended families, that's an issue. Job loss, like you said, and all of these things are things that would affect couples, and even personally in their space. You know, we are all intimacy and intimacy and sex and all that stuff. So even infidelity might be a troubled time for a couple. a spouse went outside of the marriage and, had a child, and or is trying to invite multiple sexual partners in the home and want the wife to be okay with it, and she's not. No, I don't want to do a threesome. No, I don't want somebody else in this relationship. These are real issues that people are facing, and that could be a troubled time in their relationship.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have
Definitely.
external troubles that will really embrace the marriages, right? The marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then you have internal that's happening, interpersonal relationships between you and your spouse. The external could
Yeah.
be with other family members.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked, Linda was talking about it. Well, Abraham didn't want the threesome, but Sarah wanted it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if it was a threesome, but she gave him a little wiggle room, right? And it caused conflict, right? But one of the things that we find is trouble will always come to marriages. It's God has constituted it, right? God constituted marriage, and the devil.
Yes.
Devil will try to tear
We're getting
Pastor
a little
Watkins.
technical issue. Yes. On the island sometimes you have a little problems with the internet and stuff like that. So while we're waiting for him to come back in, go ahead.
That's me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Please forgive me. Our power was out today, and I had the generator set up. It came back in, so I'm back on now, and hopefully it stays,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So we have these situations where the devil wants to come in and try to disrupt, but once a husband and wife, once the family is prepared mentally, spiritually, and ready to take on whatever the challenge is, and not have any mindset to give up, we can overcome whatever challenge the devil brings our way, because God is in control.
Yes, indeed. And like you say, trouble will always come, because we know that, this is something, like you said, that God instituted. So it's always going to be a target of the devil. So we have identified some of these problems, and we came up with, we brainstormed a lot of problems. And as you were speaking, even I could think of, problems, not even with blended, but extended family members. Like how you said, they want to come in and they get a part of what's going on in the marriage, and even extended to the amount of friends. They want to come and they want to comment and tell you how to, have your marriage. And all of these things cause a breakdown and troubled times within marriage.
Sure.
We've identified some of these troubles in that marriages face. From your perspective, how can couples survive? And I like to, how can they fireproof, ultimately thrive through these troubled times? How can they thrive through these times to still have extraordinary marriages? How can we survive and thrive? So it's more than just surviving it, but thrive through it to get through these troubled times and still have extraordinary marriages.
It's not an easy
Go ahead,
task.
Pastor.
It's not an easy task. Am I coming through? It's not an easy task for individuals to be blindsided, and most of the time we're blindsided by the trouble, right? And when we're blindsided, you're going through life, you're going through this marriage. Yes, you've done the counseling. Yes, you have your pastor to talk to and the rest of it. But you need a little bit more. You need some supernatural help with this thing, right? In order for you to really win the battle, you've got to understand what's going on. The first thing I would recommend to couples is you've got to trust your mate. You've got to trust your mate, and that trust has to be reciprocal, to know that your mate is not going to do anything to hurt or harm you or your family. Now,
Okay.
that may be a little difficult for the outside of the Christian family. You have families that are not Christians, so there's a big trust issue. But for the Christian family, once you trust your wife, once you trust your husband, and know that maybe some decision that you're not comfortable with and the rest of it, but you know that, boy, he's doing it for the best interest of the family and not for his own selfish agenda, I think that's one of the main things that we have to be able to survive and thrive even in the troubled waters.
And I agree with the trust. Trust is a big one. And then along with that, communication. And I know we heard a lot about that earlier today, but you have to communicate. And communicate is not just sitting down and the TV is going on and every time the phone goes off, you're picking up the phone, but it's actual really communicating, listening, responding back, and hearing what your spouse is saying. Ensure that you're all on the same page, because that's where the issues begin. When you don't communicate, and then when you talk at each other, and then you begin to form a gap, and that gap gets larger and larger.
That's right.
And on that part of communication, I guess one of the biggest things, when you're communicating, you got to sit and listen to one another. If you don't, something you're going to miss. So this way, like Deborah said, you're on the same page. We have to communicate to get the understanding. Because a lot of times in passing, if we say something, I might not be totally listened to it. And I done picked up the wrong idea, the wrong thing she said. And then she come back and say, that's what I just said. I said, oh, okay. I apologize. I wasn't listening. So that's why
I'm guilty.
So that point, I said I have to stop. Okay, let me stop what I'm doing. So I can make sure I understand what you're saying. To keep that communication going, and I understand where we're going and what you were saying.
Yes, that's key. That's key. The listening and active listening, not just, hearing, but the listening, body language, everything involved. Listening in the tone that your spouse is even speaking in, and not being tone deaf. Yes.
Yeah, so there were some excellent points that Pastor Watson and the Smiths would have presented, So you have to be able to listen. You have to be able to communicate. Yeah. Yes, you have to trust. Yeah. All of them were great points. And another thing what we have to look at as well, when we're talking about finding these solutions for marriages in troubled times. So as it relates to coming up with these solutions, the marriages, they have to be in it together. So you have to decide that you are in it together.
So it's the first thing is that.
That's the first thing you have to do. Decide that you're in it together. Yeah. So like we would have mentioned earlier, job loss or sickness, whatever it may be, you have to decide that you are in it together. That's the first thing you have to do.
No jumping ship.
Yeah, no jumping ship.
Okay.
You have to have your partner's back,
Yeah,
that's important.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then the second thing you want to do, you want to figure out what the problem is or what the trouble is. So you have to figure it out, and you have to do that together as well. Because once you do that together, then you can brainstorm ways to solve it.
Yeah.
That's right.
So I would like to, all of the different troubles are different. Yeah. Like even with the job loss, trying to kind of apply these steps to it. When you think about figuring out what the problem is the problem the fact that your spouse has lost a job or both of you has lost a job, or is the problem that you don't have funds coming in. You don't have an income coming in. What is the problem?
Right.
So you have to really get to the bottom of what the actual problem is. Because even though you don't have a job, that doesn't mean that you can't have income coming in. So the issue would
Yeah, that's
be,
good.
okay, if the issue is you don't have the income coming in, let's find ways to bring in more income without having the job.
Yeah.
You see, so that could be a possible way to kind of do that. And one of the things you could do is brainstorm ways to solve it. So you know what the problem is, you identify, you know exactly what the problem is. I don't know, my spouse is having an affair. Look at yourself. Did you do something? Did you look at yourself? Are you giving it up? Or are you saying, no, we shouldn't be having sex so often? Or no, we shouldn't have, you know? So look at the behind the problem to see if you could and brainstorm ways to solve it.
And then you want to work on the problem together.
Yeah.
That's important. Marriage, the two becomes one. So you have to work together. That's very, very important. And then you want to celebrate once you solve it.
Oh yeah, I like that part.
Yeah, you want to celebrate.
Yes.
Celebrate once you solve it. That's very important.
Yes.
Yeah. Pastor Watson mentioned earlier about counseling, and you know, we're assuming that that's something people are doing, but there are a lot of people that don't want to do that. They want to, you know, well, it'll work itself out or whatever. But that is important. If you can't, you know, go to God, pray about it, and it gets settled, you may need counseling. And if that's something that you and your spouse need, you'll have to agree, but get whatever help it is that you need. If that marriage means something to you, and it should, think about those vows. What is it that we need to make us better? And if counseling is one of those things, get the counseling.
That's right.
Yeah.
You know, I wanted to mention as well. Sorry, Gia. I wanted to mention as well. I'm in agreement with everything that was said. When you are at a place where there is a challenge, there is a problem, there must be self-examination. Both parties. I got to find out what it is that I have done, and you must take responsibility for your part of the problem.
Yeah.
We've got to face it. And if your wife is saying that you're doing something, no, you gotta step back. You gotta step back. Something is wrong. Other than that, you take her up and you take her down to Sunderland or what?
Yeah.
She's not crazy. What I'm saying, we have a place where people who have mental issues here in the Bahamas. It's called Sunderland, right? That's the place. So if you believe that your wife is crazy because she's just creating a problem, then you got to look at if she's continuing to talk about it or this problem is continuing to exist and weighing the marriage down. You've got to do some self-examination. So one of the things partners have to do is take responsibility for their part of the problem, whether I didn't listen before or I took it upon myself to go and do something without communicating, or I am allowing my extended family to come in and make those decisions, and then I talk about it, and then my wife is not trusting me anymore because we've got to take our responsibility.
Yes. Hold ourselves accountable. That is our duty in the marriage. Right. You know, often society makes us feel that we need to gain happiness from the next person. It's their duty to make sure that we are happy, and nobody wants to be accountable. So I like that all of you came together and said we have to be responsible. We have to be accountable for, you know, being responsible for when it's us and our part. Yes, right. And our part that we take in it. And I heard something just recently yesterday, and Linda, you can remember this. Getting the help is not a weakness. Getting the help is strength. So going back and piggybacking on what the pastor and Deborah said, if you need to get the help that you need. It's not a weakness. You know, often we feel that when we go to these people, we're going because we're so weak and there's nothing. No, We're going because we want to find strength. We want to continue to have these extraordinary marriages and put in the work. Put in the work. So through this coronavirus,
I just
go
want to
ahead.
cover
Go ahead.
spiritual. Just put in a spiritual plug there for Matthew chapter 7. Jesus says, take the log out of your own eye before you try to take the beam out of someone else's eye. Right?
Yeah.
And so that before you try to fix your wife or fix your husband, look at you. Look at where you are. And as long as you have that beam in your eye, you can see this problem clearly.
Yeah.
Pastor Watson, I said one of the things you're talking about, the beam. It's one of my pet things I tell my deacons, I tell the kids a lot of time. Excuses only satisfy the one who's making them.
Wow.
You cannot keep making excuses, but they don't satisfy me. They only satisfy you.
That's right.
And then I tell them a winner always win. A quitter ain't gonna never win. That's something you got to do.
Awesome.
That's
Sorry,
it.
dear. You can go ahead.
Dropping those nuggets here in this discussion today. This is what we need, and this is what the conversation needs to be, because people are facing tough times. People are facing trouble in marriages, even during this time, during this coronavirus pandemic. As much as we don't even want to talk about it, we wish that it would go away. This has been one of the biggest contributing factors to revealing and bringing to light a lot of trouble that is happening in marriages. For those who have survived and with their relationship so far, because there are some that, hey, haven't survived it because it brought up too much, light of the troubled times, and they felt that there wasn't a way to fix it. For those who have survived with their relationship intact, and for those who are still struggling, what would be your number one advice to these persons who are experiencing this in marriage, still struggling throughout this pandemic, where it has now opened their eyes to even more trouble? What advice would you give them? Your number one advice?
Wow. I believe that it is important for us to have a relationship with Jesus.
Yes.
It's like, okay, when we used to just get the cold or the flu, we would take a lot of vitamin C, and we don't eat right, and we just get the vitamin C and the rest of it, and then we're over it in a couple of days. Now we got the COVID because we weren't taking care of our bodies and building our immune system. We can get it more easily, and it can really tear us down and tear us apart, and death may be imminent. It's just like the marriage. If you don't have Jesus in the marriage, some marriages without Jesus, they're surviving, they're going along. But when something really comes and you don't have that rock, then it'll take you out. So that one thing is, Jesus in the midst of your marriage will give you that edge. Will give you that edge to have that stickability. Will give you that edge to own up to what you've done. Will give you that edge to learn about repenting to one another and forgiving one another. Jesus in that marriage. That's that one most important thing. And that's from a spiritual standpoint as a pastor.
I would say that kind of along with that, with your faith, we ask God always, or we should be asking God to give us wisdom and discernment. So like this COVID is something unusual. And so we have to, ask him to give us wisdom and discernment during this time. And, the government might say one thing, your local government might say something different, but going to God and asking him, because just because, like they said as an example, no more mask, Deborah still wear her mask, so you have to open your eyes and be with your spouse and do the best things for your family. And that's for not just with COVID, but with any aspect in your marriage. What's best for us? We don't want to be like the Joneses or the Browns or the Patricks. What's best for us? Because our finances are not the same as somebody else's. Our children are not the same. Our grandkids aren't the same. You know, we're doing different things. So what is best for us and our family? Let's not try to mirror someone else, but do what's going to work for Dan and Deborah and our 4+6.
You know, sorry, go ahead, let those just make a comment after. You just asked for 1 point, Gia, but you know, because I'm a Seventh-day Adventist, we keep the Sabbath, and so at sunset on Friday evenings we have worship, and this is proven faithful to me every time. I don't care how much we talk about, oh, don't let the sun go down on your problems. We have had problems where the wife wasn't talking to me for a couple of days.
Just be real. That's it. Yeah.
This is the real thing, right? But on Friday evenings, I cook, we have dinner, and we have worship. And before we have our family worship, we talk about whatever the problem is. Whatever we were carrying for those couple of days. So the Sabbath is something special that brings about or demands communication. It demands that intimacy. And so you really can't go further into the Sabbath without experiencing that peace or wanting to resolve these issues. And so family time, the Sabbath demands the family time. So you can have family time all during the course of the week when you sit down and have dinner and the rest of it. But on Friday evenings, it brings about something special where the conversation has to happen. Even if you didn't want to happen before, it has to happen. And I think that's a special part of what we ought to do when we have these problems in the communication aspect.
Awesome. Love it. And it does make a difference. So we're looking at, what could we do? So my one thing, so do we get a one thing each?
I snuck in two.
Okay, you go. You do yours first.
So what we want to do is we want to remember that your marriage is the most important issue, not the problem. So your marriage is the most important issue, not the problem. Let your marriage outlast the problem.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
So the problems, I'll piggyback on that. The problems will come. And the problems, let's do this 5 minutes rule or 5 seconds rule or however you want. If 5 minutes after the fact, whatever this problem is, if it's going to really bother you 5 years from now, then I guess it'll be an issue. But if it's going to be something that you forget about in 5 years and it's not going to be an issue, it's going to be a non-issue, you know what? Take your 5 minutes to vent and then just leave it alone. Because 5 years from now, 50 years from now, will it matter? Will that particular issue matter? Or do you want your marriage, like Vito said, to outlast any problem that you have? So get your 5 minutes vent in. But remember, years later, will it matter where the toothpaste was squeezed? Will it matter that, I didn't make, I could recall not being without a job for a short time, and, Vito was basically carrying all the responsibilities. Would it matter after? So do what you can to let your marriage, like Vito said, outlast any problem, any conflict, any trouble, and just be in it to win it. Yeah. Both of you together can accomplish so much.
So that's the 5 minute rule, and then you end it with a high five. If it doesn't matter, high five. That's right. I love it. And even hearing from most of you, it's like you're telling couples, you are a unit, and your partners, remove yourself from the problem and attack the problem. Don't attack each other.
Awesome.
So yes, attack the problem. You're stronger together. So I love that. Your advice is heard. I know some of us want to drop some more. Just this, we're going to go with this last question. Each of you, all right, are contributing to changing lives. And this is a fact. In different roles, each of you are changing lives and bringing out the best in people in some way or another. What projects are you guys currently working on? And then let our viewing audience know where they can reach you and if they can reach out to you on any platforms. So tell me how you are changing lives right now in this moment and bringing out the best in persons, and where our viewing audience can reach you.
Well, I presently serve as the youth director for North Bahamas Conference of Seventh-day Adventists here in North Bahamas Conference. And I'm always working in youth ministry. Right now, I have mentoring three young men, and in a community that we're trying to make sure that the young men, with all of the stuff that's going on, all of the chatter, there's some base values that we're instilling in them. So I'm presently working with some young men doing that. And you can reach me on my email, pr.watsonvii@gmail.com. And or you can reach me through Vito and Linda. Yeah, I'm not doing any Facebook stuff, any YouTube stuff presently, because it takes a little work. And so not that I don't want to work, but I'm not doing it right now. But we give God thanks for what He's doing through the ministry that I'm working with.
Right. So you're hands-on working, and you're going to catch up digitally.
Yes.
Yeah, kudos.
Go ahead, Ms. Deborah.
Copying off my paper. I have a platform, Build Your Best Life, and I work with high school age and young adult males, teaching them basic principles to overcome obstacles that they have in their lives and that society is placing on them as well. So hands off to you. Thank you.
Awesome.
And I am on social media, and I do 3 posts each day, Monday through Friday, as well as I have 3 lives during the week, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Saturdays at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. This week, I'm excited to be having an educational symposium. We will have speakers each evening at 6:30 p.m. And Anastasia Smith of Nassau, Bahamas is starting us out today. And our very own Linda Wright Patrick is closing us out on Friday. And my theme is hooked on books and looks. And the theme is coming from books, and reading is fundamental. And I wrote a book, Build Your Best Life, and it assists me in the platform. And I'll be donating some of those books to 2 schools here in Jacksonville, Florida. And also we will be giving complimentary haircuts to young men. So of course, people will have to tune in to the programs today, Monday through Friday, and we will be giving out those haircuts. And so the lives will be on Facebook as well as YouTube. And my contact information is www.buildyourbestlife.org. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Okay, and for Linda and I, Unique Couples, you can find us on Facebook at Unique Couples. You can find us on Twitter, Unique Couples. You can find us on Instagram, Unique Couples 242, and also our Unique Couples YouTube channel, which is Unique Couples. So you can find us on any of those platforms. You can reach us at our email, which is uniquecouplesrekindle@gmail.com. If you want to email us, you can reach us at uniquecouplesrekindle@gmail.com. So you can find us on any of those various social media platforms. Also, If you haven't joined the Unique Couples Marriage Club,
Yep.
you want to be a part of the Unique Couples Marriage Club, because in the Unique Couples Marriage Club, this is where you can transform your marriage. You have transformation going on there in the Unique Couples Marriage Club. You have motivation. You have inspiration. You have all of this going on in the Unique Couples Marriage Club. So you want to make sure you are a part of the Unique Couples Marriage Club. There is a link in the description. So if you haven't joined the Unique Couples Marriage Club, you want to be a part of that.
Yes, if you're serious about taking your marriage, your relationship to the next level of loving, then we will definitely see you in the Unique Couples Marriage Club.
Yes, yes. All of you are just doing so well. Continue to keep on impacting lives. As we close, I'm going to give you a chance to give us your final thoughts. Give us your final thoughts on the discussion we had today. Go ahead, Pastor. One thought.
It's my turn. Well, I just want to leave the audience with this, and I'll just want to piggyback on what Sister Linda said. Take your 5 minutes. And my last thought is, you must move on. Whatever the problem is, you must move on. And I'll leave this passage of scripture with you, Philippians chapter 3, 13 and 14. Philippians chapter 3, 13 and 14. Brothers, I do not consider that I have made it my own, but one thing I do, forgetting what lies behind and sustaining forward to what lies ahead, I press toward the goal of the prize upward, the upward call called unto Jesus Christ. And so I think it is important to move on. Don't fester on the things behind us, because we want to maintain solid relationships. We want to get over our problems in Jesus.
That's fine.
And I was looking at these, like Brother Vito and Pastor Watts said, we talking about problems, and I always think like this. You got problems and solutions. So if you're part of the solution, you're going to make it, you're going to do well. But if you're part of the problem, you're going to be in trouble.
Yeah.
So just remember, if you got problems, be part of the solution. So that problem will be solved.
Amen.
Okay, and I just would like to say, to have an extraordinary marriage, you've got to put in extra.
Extra.
I
like it. Awesome.
Yes, that extra. Love it.
Yes, you got to put in that extra. Yes,
Ooh.
and like
I need to type that in chat. Extra.
Like Dan said, if there is a problem, you have to be a part of the solution. And Linda and I, we believe that you have to work together. It's important that you work together as a married couple. So whatever the problem you encounter, you can deal with it together. Because with both of you dealing with it together, you will be able to overcome it. You will be able to solve it. And we know here at Unique Couples that we are building stronger couples, healthier marriages, and happier families. We believe once that has happened, marriages will thrive. Yes. We will have successful marriages all over the world.
Awesome. Yeah. So I like what you said about, we tackle it together. And my thing is, be stronger together, because divided, you can fall, you can break apart. The problems will seem overwhelming. But when you do it together, you're stronger, and no problem can destroy or dismantle you if you don't allow it to.
Yes, I love it. I love it. I love it. Today was powerful. Today was powerful. Our marriage marathon started off from this morning, and today we are ending with our panel discussion. We want to thank you for being a part of this discussion on extraordinary marriage in troubled times. We can all have extraordinary marriages. I love what Deborah said. We have to put in the extra. That's right. No matter what is happening in the world around us, we can have extraordinary marriages. And we want you to remember to join the Unique Couples Marriage Club for motivation, inspiration, and transformation in your marriage. Like Linda though said, it was indeed a great day today. We are so glad that we have been on a journey today, and the journey doesn't end here. We are in marriage, and as we know, hashtag it in chat if you are still with us. Marriage is a marathon. Marriage is not a sprint. We know that marriage is a marathon, it is a journey, and we have to put in the work. Even sometimes we are out of breath. Like I told Mr. and Mrs. Unique Couples today, the Olympics has nothing on us today. We are in a marathon, and it is historic. We are here, and you are committed. You're dedicated because you're putting in the work and you're being intentional about putting in that time to build healthy marriages. And the fact that you are here, it shows that you're willing to invest. And we know, and we heard it here, right here in our discussion today, with God, all things are possible. And all of us spoke about that, putting him first, putting him in the center, and through these troubled times, still having extraordinary marriages. So we just want to wrap up now. Any announcements we want to make, I'm going to give you a chance to do it. Just reminding our winners that you will know your winning spot. Listen, all day today, I tell you, these persons, even though the marriage marathon is free, they were still giving out free things. Can you believe it? Yes. So those of us who were engaging and were a part of today, look out, keep up with Unique Couples and their page so you can know. They will announce the winners tomorrow. We're going to give Vito and Linda a chance to give any other announcements if they need to. And don't leave without giving our spa. All right. So I'm going to turn it over to Mrs. Unique Couples and Mr. Unique Couples. Thank you.
Yes. How would we have gotten through this day without Gia, Lynn, Collie? So we wanna say a special thank you to Gia for taking time out of her schedule for hosting for us.
Yes,
And
awesome job.
Yes, I know she had some help in the background, but we just want to thank her. And then to our panelists, Pastor Peter Watson, Dan, and Deborah Smith, we want to also thank you as well for taking time out of your busy schedule to come on the Unique Couples second annual marriage marathon to join with us today under the theme Extraordinary Marriage.
Yep.
And then the speakers who we would have had earlier, Jason and Lavette Basin in Ontario, Canada, they would have talked on the topic Extraordinary Marriage and Trust. Then we would have had Anton and Daria Brown from Flint, Michigan. They would have talked on the topic Extraordinary Marriage and Communication. And then we would have had Nathaniel and Ashley Butler. They would have talked on the topic Extraordinary Marriage and Finances. They were in Nassau, Bahamas. And then Linda and I, we spoke on extraordinary marriage and intimacy and sex. So today in the marathon, a number of different things were covered. We talked about trust. We talked about finances. We talked about communication. We talked about intimacy and sex. We talked about troubled times in marriages. So for our Unique Couples community, I want to encourage you, go ahead and watch the replay on those videos. They were awesome. They were all great. They were phenomenal. So you want to make sure you watch the replay and you want to take some notes from it because you want to have your marriage thrive. You want to continue learning each day. You want to continue building your marriage. So watch those replays. And we also want to thank the sponsors for today. We want to thank Hair to Please, Doris. We also want to thank Shadra at Style Me Pretty And we want to thank Anna at the Nail Lab Creation. So we want to thank the sponsors for today. Linda and I, we had a great time sharing with you today. On Wednesday, we have the Unique Couples After Dark, 9 p.m. on the Unique Couples YouTube channel. So that's Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Unique Couples YouTube channel. And then next week, Sunday, we would be back 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our Unique Couples Sunday Night Live. So you want to stay tuned for the upcoming events that we are having this week on Wednesday and then on Sunday.
Definitely. And don't forget tonight. Tonight is the start of the Education Symposium that Deborah will be hosting on Build Your Best Life with Deborah Smith. That's tonight at 6:30. That's 6:30 our time, right? Yeah. So that's 6:30
p.m. Eastern
Standard Time.
Yes.
So you want to go ahead and join. You can go ahead and join on Facebook as well. Deborah's link is in the chat. You can go on her Facebook page and be a part of that tonight. We're so grateful for the work that she's doing there. And it's even impacting young people here as well, working with those boys. And get your book. Get your book. I didn't put my book closer. Yeah. So get your book, Build Your Best Life. It is not just for young men. Get it, show your children, let them read it, and then gift some to someone. Gift a book to someone as well. That is definitely going to be a great help. So, so it's just so much. I love the little extra in your marriage. Put in that little extra. Remember, we have summer quickies this week in the Unique Couples Marriage Club. So if you are not a member, go ahead and join the Unique Couples Marriage Club. You get to be in there for our introductory rate of $24.95 a month. It is a club. We do those drips of love and those spas and just the actions, daily action steps that you take. So be a part of the Unique Couples Marriage Club. Our date night is August 23rd. We will have a group date night. And then even before that, we'll talk about some other date night ideas and date night suggestions that we give our couples that they can work on during the week if they have their weekly date nights, which we encourage, right?
Yes, we do.
So like, subscribe. If you haven't watched all of the sessions, this is the fifth session. We had a ball. I can't believe it's over. It just seemed like, wow, 10 to 3. Yeah, and it's over. It was really a marathon, Gia. Thank you so much. I hope we're not missing anything. All the persons who sponsored, who assisted, and who helped. And then you, for each one of you who are viewing this now, who will go ahead and think that marriage is important, who is going to be on the bandwagon to promote healthy marriages. You who will like this page, who will like the YouTube channel and the Twitter and the Facebook and wherever we are. You who will share this video with someone, with anyone, with everyone who will post it. Yes, you made it possible. So go ahead and share so that we can help inspire, motivate, and transform marriages all around the world.
All right. So we want to thank you all. And once again, we want to thank Gia, thank Dan and Deborah. And we're going to say have a great rest of the day.
And all the persons who are joining us live. Hello, Emily. We see you caught us live. And yes, I see Tasha's watching live, and Eleanor and all those persons who are watching live. And then all of you who will catch the replay. It applies to you. Let us know your takeaway. We didn't do the spa. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So your spa, Gia reminded us, your spa for today.
Spa is spouse supporting positive action.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So this spa is more of a thing to say, but it involves action as well. So let's say you have a problem, some trouble that is affecting your marriage, troubled time. This is what we want you to do with your spouse. A problem arises, trouble, whatever. We want you to stop, pause, look each other in the eyes, and say, our marriage will grow stronger through this. Our marriage will grow stronger through this. We are stronger together. Hold your spouse's hands, look them in the eye. You know, we don't like that look in the eye thing, right? Look them in the eyes and say that statement. Embrace. You could go ahead, fall on your knees and pray. And rest assured that your marriage will outlast whatever problem it encounters because you are stronger together.
Yes, we love you all. Like I said earlier, have a great rest of the day, and we'll see you all on Wednesday and Unique Couples After Dark. We had fun today. We love you all. Bye.
Thank you for having us.
It was great having you all.